Well, good morning or good afternoon, wherever you are in Australia. Thanks for joining today's demonstration for the eNVD features. So my name is Marty Lonigan. I'm the Product Strategy Manager at Integrity Systems Company. So today I've got two other guests that are with us. So we've got Wade Lewis from Agri Growers. Wade's the president of the Livestock Bulk and Rural Carriers Association of New South Wales. And Wade's been working closely with ISC on the rollout of eNVDs within the transport sector. Also joining is Romy Wahab. Romy is ISC's Product Strategy Manager for the eNVD platform. So Romy will actually be doing a live demonstration of the new eNVD features with a focus on what that means for the transport sector and some of the developments that we've deployed specifically for the transport sector. Within today's session, we've got a Q&A function. So on the bottom of the screen, there's a button there where you can click Q&A. So we've got a number of our ISC staff. We've got George and Callum from our operations team and Pete from our adoption and integration team that can answer any questions as they come to hand. So by all means, please use that to ask any questions or share with us potentially what has worked or what hasn't worked, and we can help address those through the Q&A box today as well. Okay, so now let's move into the agenda. So I'll go into the LPA eNVD and just provide some information on what that is and some of the new features. Before Robbie will then go through into a little bit more detail around how to access the eNVD via myMLA, how to complete the transporter details within eNVDs, and some of the really specific transporter features that are rolling out, such as how to share consignments, how to add comments to consignments, and then also another really important one is how to add or delete additional transporters, trucks to a consignment as well. And then I'll follow up with, at the end of today's session, with a number of resources that we've got available online, or where ISC can also help the transport sector with implementing and receiving eNVDs, because we know that the transport sector plays a critical role when it comes to the movement of livestock around Australia. So we're here to support as well. So just a reminder, please use the Q&A box, and we'll do our very best to answer every question that comes through. Okay, so what is an LPA eNVD? So the LPA eNVDs are a legal document which communicate the food safety and treatment status of every animal as they move through the supply chain. They are free to use. It's actually more accurate to use the digital consignments versus paper forms. And it ensures that all of that information is then captured and stored digitally. The LPA program is Australia's red meat on farm assurance program. And it plays a critical role in underpinning market access for our meat and provides evidence of the livestock history, on-farm practices, and also the transfer of livestock through the supply chain. Some of the key benefits of using the eNVD, particularly in the transport sector and with the app, the system's available offline. So you are actually able to use, receive or send consignments through the app when you are offline, so you're in a location without internet service. You've also got the ability to, capture all of the information in one place. So the digital consignment remains there. You've got a history. It's easy to go back and look at, what you have moved, but also what may be coming up as well. They don't get damaged, they don't get lost. So if it's raining, you're out in the out in the yards receiving stock. So the digital versions have got a better quality to them. They can also save time. So in particular for the creators, so the producers can create templates. So if you use the one group of producers always, you can always ask them to create templates. So it makes it easier for you when you receive consignments. And the other important one is that it reduces storage costs. So because they're digital, they can be housed in the app, or you can go onto the website and access them, and just less paperwork, which is an important activity. And we want to also emphasize and reiterate that all of these digital consignments and the eNVD platform has been approved by all the states and territories. So certainly when it comes to if there's the need for inspections or police, checking, all of the eNVDs have been approved at every state and every territory as well. So I just wanted to reiterate that point as well. So let's go into a little bit more detail. So what's new for the eNVD? So we've got 13 features that have been launched in this most recent deployment, which went live on the 1st of March. And so the process to actually define what do we do when it comes to the development really comes directly from the industry. And a lot of these recent enhancements have come directly from multiple supply chains. So this round of deployments has got features for the transporters, it's got features for the agents and the sale yards, but also for the feedlots and processors. So we're really making it more accessible for the entire supply chain to, create, accept, receive digital consignments. A couple of the really important ones are around comments being added to the consignments. So it's important that there's a communication channel right through the consignment, which can, enable everyone to view those comments, and Romy will show those in a little bit more details. The adding of attachments. So we know an eNVD typically is not just one document. So there's a range of other declarations or permits which accompany an eNVD. So those attachments can now be added to the consignments. And I guess I really wanted to emphasize as well, specifically for the transporters, we've had a lot of feedback because the collection of livestock or the drop off of livestock might happen, where there's no one else around, or you're dropping them off at a processor. Late at night, early of a morning, you can leave a comment into the consignment, or the producer can leave a comment that says, the livestock's in the southern yard, or if you've taken on the livestock and they said there was 50 head, but there was only 49, you can actually, leave that comment there as well, to make sure that the producer updates the consignment. So it's really important that those features are there for the transporters. The other one is about sharing the consignment. So if there's multiple drivers, involved in a consignment, or, if there's, a road train that then gets split at a certain location, you can now, add additional drivers to those consignments as well. The other important one is we've made it easier to access. So I guess the main thing that every part of supply chain will require is a myMLA registered account. So once you have that, you can then go into the system and and receive consignments. So Romy will go into a little bit more detail about that. So now I'll hand over to Wade, and he'll go into a little bit more details for the transporters. Thanks, Wade.
Yeah, thank you, Martin. The time we've been working on this project was obviously, as Martin said, we've been really working with transport operators to deliver what they require. So why are we going down why eNVD? Well, as we know, there's a digital change is happening within the transport industry at a rapid pace, and this is another part of that process that's occurring. And it's it's an evolving thing thing that's going to keep happening within our industry, and eNVD is actually just another part of that. We want our industry to be prepared for when to receive an eNVD. So there will be plenty of our clients and customers that will still be using paper, and they probably won't change. But we want to make sure that the transport industry is aware of how to receive an eNVD and how to use that eNVD once you've got it. It's a national system has been built to ensure you meet your strictest standards, regardless of where you're traveling in Australia. So it's been built so it can be accepted all across Australia, and it's standardized. Some key features that I think are very important for transporters in this latest update is the fact that we can now add comments, and that ensures that we're trying to get this eNVD to as close as the functionality as a piece of paper as possible. So we can put our comments in for our transit, what pens we may have left them in, etc. Any issues during transit. And we can also importantly add extra regos and drivers to the existing eNVD. It's important that to get the most functionality out of this app is to have a myMLA account. If you have a myMLA account, there'll be far more functionality with the app. But in saying that, if you don't have the app, you can still receive it from the producer or the originator of the eNVD via text or email. So it's still very accessible. Either way, whether you do have that account with myMLA, but you will get more functionality from the app if you do have that account. I believe this product now is usable across the supply chain, and I think as there's more acceptance, it will become more of a part of our everyday business. So with that, I think I might hand over to Romy, and Romy will be able to do a demonstration for us. And please, I encourage you to put any questions in the Q&A so that we can answer them. Thank you, Romy.
Thank you, Wade. Good day, everyone. Thank you for taking our time to attend today's webinar. My name is Romy, and I'm the Product Strategy Manager at ISC, looking after our traceability products, and eNVD is one of those products. This is an exciting time at ISC for all of us to be showing you these new features. Just to give you a little bit of background, the eNVD website is not new. It was released back in 2017, but access to eNVD website was restricted to someone who had an LPA account, basically producers. They could create consignments and then receiver would receive it. With these new features, we have sort of opened the eNVD website up, so anyone in the supply chain can directly log into eNVD and benefit from the new features. Also, towards the end of 2022, we released the first version of the eNVD mobile app. So, and since then, we have released a few iterations of the mobile app, and we continue to roll out improvements by the app. There has been a lot of enhancement that we have done on the eNVD website to bring the interface in line with the mobile app. So these enhancements have been designed in response to industry feedback so that we can deliver a smoother user experience and improved accessibility across the supply chain. The new features are designed to improve efficiency and convenience for all users of the greater supply chain, including transporters like yourselves, agents, sale yard, feedlot, and processors. All of the new features that I will demonstrate today are applicable on the mobile app and also the website. However, it's the website that has gone through most significant changes. To access the eNVD system, if you're an app user, you'd already know that you need a myMLA account. So same applies for the eNVD website. So if you want to log in through the website on your computer, you just need to have a myMLA account. myMLA single sign-on was designed as a tool to consolidate all of your disparate logins for your various IC MLA services. So if you happen to have a LPA account or MSA, myFeedback, and now eNVD, you'll all need a myMLA login. So let me just start sharing screen from my app, because I think for a transporter in particular, app would be the most logical step. But yeah, later on I'll show you how you log into the web as well. So sharing my screen. Okay. So I'll just quickly jump in and log in to the eNVD app. So as soon as I open up the application, it asks me to accept the privacy policy in terms of use. So I'll do that. I'll log in. Now here, you have two options. You can log in as a guest, or you could log in as a myMLA user. So as a transporter, you could log in as a guest, but this will just give you a very limited functionality. Basically, you can use the app and use the QR code scanner to scan the QR codes off your transporter's device, and that way you can get it onto your device. But we recommend that you sign up as a myMLA user. That way producer can address consignments to you ahead of time, and you'll always have those on your account, and it's never gonna get lost. So I'll just log in as a myMLA user, and I'll log in with one of my test accounts. I've got a few accounts in here, just need to select the right one. Here we go. So if you haven't signed up for an account, you can also sign up on the previous page. There was a button there to like sign up for myMLA account. So as I have logged in, you could see it was momentarily syncing for looking for any changes that may have happened. So if somebody has consigned any new, if they've linked me as a transporter on any of the new consignments, basically it will be pulling those from the system, eNVD system, and onto my device. So as I log in, I can see I have my transporter card, and I also have a viewer card. So viewer is basically if somebody would like to share any consignment with anyone who doesn't have a tick or any other way that they have been linked to consignment, they can always be added as a viewer. So that's basically that. It's a default account that we give to all eNVD users. So let's just stay on the eNVD transport account. Middle section here just basically shows you all of your consignments that are moving today. So I've got 2 consignments that are moving today. And then on the bottom, if I tap on the view button, basically shows me all of my consignments that are from today, could be from last week, last month, or any future dated consignments. So the second one here is a consignment that's moving tomorrow. So I'll just tap on one of these consignments and open it up, show you what you can see. So as you tap on one of those consignment cards, basically you open it up, and then it shows you the consignment summary page of that consignment. This is a new feature that we have introduced as part of the new features, 13 new features. So you basically get to view how complete this consignment is. You've got a green tick next to each of those sections. So all of those sections have been completed and have got a tick next to it. And if I wanted to basically step through the consignment, I just tap on view. And it will give me the ability to just step through different screens and just check any details that I'm interested in. As a transporter, I don't think you'd like to step through each of those consignments, but yeah, there's an option there that you can do that. You can just check all this information if you wanted to. And basically, I'm just trying to get to the page where there's the number of heads, the livestock description. So here we are. So basically here, I get to see there's 140 Angus steers in this consignment, and there was 150 of the Santa steers in this consignment as well. So yeah, that's fine. I'll just continue tapping next to get to the end of the consignment. Yep, happy with all of that. Final declaration, and then I can exit out of there. So as a transporter, you don't have the ability to edit any of this information, but we have given you the ability to edit the transporter section. So if you look at the screen here, I can see there were 2 transporters added to this consignment. The first one was a transporter head office. And so if you're working for like a bigger company and you have asked if the producer adds the head office there, I'll use that account on the web to show you how somebody from the admin office or operations manager would use that functionality on the web. The second one here is this transport account that I logged in with. So if I was to just go and tap on edit, basically brings me to this edit transporter sections. Here I can start populating my details. So I'll just scroll down. This is the section where my email has been listed. This has to be a myMLA registered email ID. Otherwise, this won't work. You need to register for myMLA and get your account, eNVD account. So I'll just type in my name. For example, I'll pretend I'm Joe, driver. Joe driver. That's my email address, my registration number, ABC123. Sorry, I got that I for some reason. Oops. Let's get rid of that altogether. Start again. A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Transporter phone number. And it asks me to sign, so I can sign easily on my phone. So Joe, and it's happening today. Let's just say this time. Tick this box. It's important that you tick this declaration, because this way, now that I've completed my transporter section details, this will lock me into this consignment, and another transporter would not be able to remove me from this consignment. I'll be locked. So I'll just save that. Okay, so I have done that. I've completed my section. Also, if you wanted to add another driver, I'll just show you quickly how you can do it from the app. So if you think this was like close to 300 or 400 heads in this one, if you wanted to add another driver, just tap on Add Transporter, scroll down. This is my section that I completed. And then here, I can type in another transporter's email. So ISC transporter 1@gmail.com. That's it. So all you need to do is just enter the myMLA registered email ID. So this email ID has been registered with the myMLA system. So I do that, save changes. And now this transporter, ISC transporter 1, has also got access, has been added to this consignment. And if he logs into the eNVD system or the eNVD web app, he'll be able to see this consignment as well. Now, another new feature here that we've introduced as part of the web eNVD new changes, this is the viewer section. So this, you can basically see who are the viewers who have been added to this consignment. So you can see here, this producer has added Williamson Rural Marketing and Happy Hooves Healthy Heads, who may be a retail buyer for them. So they have been added to the consignment. Now I'd like to just go up and tap on the comments page. So as Wade and Marty mentioned, we have introduced this new feature called ability to add comments. So basically, through our industry engagement, we were hearing a lot that when consignments was moving along the supply chain, there was a need for a piece of paper that used to travel, where people used to write notes or anything that they wanted was worth mentioning to anyone who's linked to the consignment or will be accessing that paper. So basically, to replace the paper, note taking on the paper, we've introduced this feature. So you can see here in the comments, in the commentary section, first comment left by the vendor. Here's the person who created the consignment. Animals left in the Southern Yard. North Sydney Meats, who was a receiver for this, they were going to his property. So they said, yeah, thanks, we'll be waiting for the stock. And Happy Trails Livestock, which was the transporter head office, they've added, you might need another driver. So you can also leave a comment here, so that, hey, hello, Joe, here, sorry, here, space here, and I will add Bob, because I've added that other transporter there. I see transporter 1. So I'll just say hit Bob. And of course, if you were there at the live, going to pick up the animals and you saw this consignment had 290 heads in it. So if I go in here and just say, loaded 289 heads. So this sort of comments that you can add to the consignment. So anybody who's linked to this consignment would be able to see these comments. So instead of 290, they'll be expecting 289 head arriving there. Any comments that you leave is accessible by, will be visible to anyone who's linked to the consignment. And once you leave a comment, you are not able to edit it. You just, if you want to add something else, you can just go back and add a new comment. So that's that. And then now I'd like to show you just sharing consignment. So if I have this consignment here, the 3 dots on the top right corner of the consignment card, if I just tap on the 3 dots, it gives me some options. So I've got options to add comment, generate PDF, share by QR code, or share URL. So as Marty and Wade have mentioned, share URL is quite important. So when you tap on the share by URL, basically brings up the app sharing tray, and I've got options to share this consignment as a SMS. So if I tap on messages, I can share the consignment with anyone else. It will render it as a PDF. So if I send it to myself, and I send this off to myself, just received a message. If I go into messages, if I tap on that, basically it renders this information in the PDF, in the paper form that you are familiar with. So anything that, all the forms that are sort of included in there, any attachments. So this was one of the attachments in this consignment. It's in there. And there was a cattle tick permit as well as another example of attachment on that consignment. Let's go back to this eNVD app. I can also share via email. If I wanted to email somebody, I can just tap on mail, and then I will copy the link and paste it in my email and send it off to anyone. Share by QR code is something that I will show you on my producer's phone. It is more relevant to that way. Now, the other thing that I would like to show you, like if you were to arrive, now this will work while you are in coverage and consignment has been addressed to you ahead of time. So if you were to arrive at if the producer hasn't shared the consignment with you ahead of time, you need to, you're probably arriving at the producer's property, and then you will, and you find that there's no coverage there. So basically, we still have an option. We have a offline solution. So I'll jump in on from my producer's phone. So I'll stop sharing here, and I will jump in on my producer's phone. Start sharing from here. Okay. Great. Open up the app. And for example, if this is the consignment that the producer has, and I've arrived at the property and we find out there's no coverage there. So basically what you need to do is you scroll down to the transporters section on the producer's phone. You edit that on the producer's phone. So basically, yeah, Joe Driver, and my email ID is ISC. You don't need to provide it here, but I'll just put it in IC Transporter. gmail.com, and my region number 3, and my phone number. With that, I'll sign it on the producer's phone. Show that says happening today at this time, and I'm the person in charge, and I save this. Now this you need to do on the producer's phone. And now that you have done that, this consignment is fully complete and submitted to the system. Now I'm able to generate QR code. So if I just tap on this, share QR code. So if you have played around with the app, you'll be familiar that there's a QR code sort of option available. And basically, if you'd like to try this now, if you've got the app installed on your phone and you'd like to try scanning that consignment, I'll just give you half a minute if you wanted to do that before I proceed further. Now, if you found that based on the lighting in the environment where you're trying to scan this QR code, if it's very bright day outside and there's light directing hitting your screen, and it's making it difficult to scan the QR code, you can always change your granularity to medium or low. Basically, changing the granularity will increase the number of QR codes. So if I was to change to medium, it just increases the number of QR codes. So if you from 5, it went to a bit more now. If I went to low, it makes it even more. So you can see the QR code has become bigger. It's easier to scan, but the downside is a lot more QR codes. So you need to scan all of those. You can't just scan one and think it's over. It will go through. While you're scanning, it will show you the progress. It will show you 1 out of 5 has been scanned, or in this case, I can't. There's quite a lot. I don't want to count it, but yeah, this. So if I just go back to high, and I'll leave it on this page here on my producer's phone, and I'll stop sharing, and I'll log back on my transporter's device. So basically, I'm back on the transporter's device, and I go open up the app. I've logged in already, as I showed you. I just click on the scan QR code, and then basically I try to scan this. Starting to scan. The phone at the bottom is the producer phone. So now this is how you'd scan a QR code if you are offline and there's no internet and you haven't been addressed, the consignment hasn't been addressed to you ahead of time. So you can do all of this. I'll show that again. I'll scan it again. So just go start scanning 3 of 6, 4 of 6, 5 of 6, 6 of 6. So that basically by doing that, I've got that consignment on my phone now and it's here. And I'm ready to be on my way off to the transporter. So if I wanted to say something here as a transporter heading off soon. Soon. Cool. So that's done. Now I'll just jump on to the computer and I'll show you how somebody would do this from the computer. So again, on the computer, if you are trying to log in, you'll need to have a myMLA account. If you haven't got one, you just sign up by clicking on that button here. I'll just log in because I've got an account. Transporter head office. Yes, that's the one I want to use. I will log in. Let me just make sure transporter head office. Yeah, cool. So I've basically skipped one step and I've just taken myself to the eNVD website. But generally, you're going through the myMLA dashboard. Okay, I'm in here, view my dashboard. So it did log me in. Normally, when you log in, you will just come in through here, go to the dashboard, which is this, and then you can just jump on eNVD. So if I do that, basically it takes me to the eNVD page. You just need to select the right account. So that was the viewer account. Go to the transporter. So transport head office account, and I can see there are a couple of consignments that are moving today. So this sort of scenario would be more applicable to an operations manager or somebody in the office who's not actually the transporter, but even transporters can also log in this way. But yeah, they can basically log in if any consignments have been consigned to the transport company, they can see what's coming and they can allocate jobs to the drivers. So if I was to pick this consignment up, I click on that, basically shows me on a high level, who's the livestock owner, where it's moving from, where it's moving to, and what's included, what are the forms. And again, this we have on the web, we have introduced the sections where we can show you how complete this consignment is. If you wanted to jump into any particular section, just jump into that, into the livestock section. You can see there's 230 heads of Angus, 150 heads of center, and you can click through it if you want to, click through it. This section here is the attachments. So any attachments that the producer has included with the consignment, you can click on that. We give you the ability to view all attachments, and you can download them if you wanted to. So it's all there. It will always stay with the eNVD consignment. So yeah, that's fine. I'll just continue clicking next. Or I could just go straight to the section. I was trying to get to the transporter section, which is this one here. So as I get to the transporter section, I can complete my details. So if I wanted to edit this, just say Joe Transport. And I'll just put down ABC 123, my number 0412345678. And I can draw image. Sure. And yep, moving today, let's say 3 p.m. So that's how you'll be completing the transport section on the web. If you wanted to add another driver, so if you were to, so you can see ISC transporter has been allocated and ISC transporter 1 has been allocated. If you think IC transporter is not going to be taking this consignment. You can remove them. So just tap on remove, it's gone. And if I wanted to remove this guy as well, he's gone. If I wanted to add any drivers, so all I need to do is just punch in the IC, the registered email ID. So I'll just say IC transporter 2, sorry, transporter2@gmail.com. So basically I'm adding this driver to this consignment. I just need to provide the email ID and say I need another driver as well. So IC transporter 4@gmail.com. So that way I've removed IC transporter and transporter 1, and I've added 2 and 4 to this. That's it. And then I go and tap on save changes, and that will update this consignment, remove the 2 previous drivers and add 2 new drivers to this consignment. If I wanted to print this or again, here you've got these comment section. Let's say added 2 new drivers and removed previous drivers. So maybe they were not, the previous drivers were busy or allocated to other jobs. So I can do that. So as the transport company, you said I've added 2 new drivers and removed previous drivers. So you have that ability to leave comments. You have that ability to generate a PDF. So if I wanted to see all of this information, digital information in the paper form, just click on generate PDF. It will render all of that information in the paper form, and I can send this to my printer if I want to. So just click on that, send it to my printer, and I can see all of that information that has been, all the forms included, all of the attachments. There's 2 attachments, paired attachment. So all of that is there. If I wanted to share this from my computer with anyone, just click on share. Basically, that public URL is there. Tap on to copy that. So it's been copied. And then basically I will just jump into my email client and paste that link and shoot it off to anyone that I'd like to share this consignment with. So, yep, that's how you will be sharing the consignment. You can also see the viewers. So you can see there were 2 viewers added by the consignment creator. So that he added 2 viewers in there. So as I showed you on the mobile app, you can see who are the viewers on the consignment. You can add comments through the mobile app and also the eNVD website. And I'll just show you another cool new feature. If I was to scroll down here, this section here basically shows you what's moving today. So anything that's not moving today is not going to be listed here. If I scroll down to the all consignment section, this is where you have all of the other consignments. So anything that is moving today was moving yesterday, last week, or any future dated consignments. So I have 2 consignments here that are moving tomorrow. I can find them in here. Now, if I was in a rush and I want to just search for consignments, so for example, I want to search for consignments, anything linked to a Smith. So I would just type in a name, Smith, and basically it will filter out all the consignments that has anything to do with the Smith. If I wanted to find out consignments going to a particular pick, so I just say QEZZ9999, then all of these consignments that are somehow linked to QEZZ9999 would be filtered out and displayed to you. I can also type in a reg number. For example, I want to see my ABC123, the truck reg number ABC123. All of these consignments here are somehow linked to this reg number. So I can do all of that. We also giving you the ability to filter by a certain species if you're interested in doing that. So filter by cattle, sheep and goat, bobby calf, goat, by the status of the consignment or within a particular date range. And also we are giving you the ability to sort consignments using 3 different ways: last updated, movement date, or date created. So by default, we sort by last updated. Now, another thing is the profile. So we've introduced an eNVD profile. So if you were to click on the top here on your name and just click on edit eNVD profile, and here we can just update profile. If you wanted to update your name or anything to do with your name, you can also nominate yourself to be a livestock carrier. If I take that off, or if I leave it in here, basically it will add or remove a transporter card to my eNVD profile. So I'll leave that one in here, saying changes. And I go back to the consignment. So another thing I wanted to show you was how would you, if you are a producer and also a transporter, how do you actually transport your consignments? So let me just log out of this account and I'll log in as my producer account. So this was the producer account I used on one of my other devices. I showed you I was scanning QR codes. So for example, in here, I've got a transporter card as well. So if I was a producer and I'm also transporting my own livestock, basically I pick up one of these consignments. I click on the transporter details and I will, this one's been already filled, but let's just say I add one more. Let's say I'm Romy, producer, and my email ID for this account is isc.mla2024@gmail.com. My vehicle number is ABC123, and my account number is. So basically, what I'm doing here is as a producer, I'm filling out the transport section because I will be transporting my own livestock. So I can do this on the web and I can do this on the app. It's very easy to do it. Just complete all of this section. And that will comply with my requirements. So I'll just say, yeah, I'm the person in charge, and edit, save changes, and that's it. So as a producer, I'm transporting these livestock and I've added my details in here. And then, yeah, I think that was all that I'd like to show you from the mobile app and web point of view. Over to you, Marty.
Thank you, Romy, and thanks everyone for the questions that have come through the chat as well. Hopefully you'll be able to see from the enhancements that have come through that the feedback that we've received from the transport sector, we have listened and we're continuing to develop the eNVD app to make it easier for everyone to accept, view and transport livestock. So look, as a way to highlight, as we mentioned earlier, we are here to support the industry as well. So there's a number of different ways that we support the industry with the ask for digital consignments. We've integrated with a large number of software systems. So this is, I guess, very important from either the sale yards or the processors that have software integrated systems. We've also had a number of discussions with multiple larger transport companies that have got inbuilt trucking software for either a range of different activities when it comes to transport. So we've had discussions with many organisations as well. I guess I wanted to also highlight that today 30% of consignments are created as digital consignment. So that could either be created through a website, through an app, or through an API. Now, when a consignment is created, it doesn't matter how it was created. When it comes to the transport sector, you can accept that either as an an app consignment, or if you use a website, you can use it through the website as well. So it doesn't matter how it was created. When it comes to the movement, you can access it through the app if that's easier, or the web if that's easier as well. So I just wanted to highlight that. As I mentioned, we've got a number of our technical team and experts that are available to help when it comes to upskilling staff. We've done a number of activities where we're working with, providing speakers at conferences or events to help, with those supplier events when it comes to educating industry around digital consignments. A number of the features that we've gone through today are the direct result of feedback that's come from industry. So we're also available and can provide some co-funding if there's some specific activities that might require a co-funding initiative to really embed digital consignments within industry as well. We've also got the ability to produce like co-branded resources. So if there's specific resources that you need co-branded, by all means, please let us know. We're happy to assist as well. I guess one of the other things I wanted to highlight is that the resources and this webinar series is one of multiple that we've done over the last 2 weeks. So we've conducted sessions with producers, with processors, with agents and sale yards, and really just trying to make sure that every part of supply chain is aware of digital consignments and can accept them. So we certainly want to make sure that we can continue to provide those support. On this screen here is a couple of examples of the information that's available either about the web or the app. There's some how-to guides, some videos. We've posted some links in the Q&A, which has got a number of links that talk about the requirements from New South Wales Police. So a lot of that information's already been created and available online. I've also seen a number of questions in the Q&A about, well, we operate as a company. Can we have one company email and then assign drivers that way? I think we're absolutely here to help come up with the best configuration for your business. So if you could just email us on that email address there, eNVD@Integrity Systems, and we can help with the best configuration for your organisation. And now following today's session, all of the resources, a copy of today's recording will be sent out to all the participants. So you'll be able to look through today's presentation again if required, or just look through the links that are available. And we'll also, straight after today's session, there is a quick survey where you can answer some questions around was it useful? If there's any other feedback, by all means, please use that channel to provide your feedback as well. Okay, I think that comes towards the end of today's session. I think we've got one or two more questions being answered in the Q&A. So before we close the call, we'll just finish answering those questions. And again, we thank you for taking the time. We know it's in the middle of the day, so we know people may be on the road or in between jobs or coming towards the end of your day. So thank you for taking the time out, and we look forward to helping you accept and transport digital consignments. Thank you very much. Have a good afternoon.